Kayla with Pop Entertainment, and it's so nice to meet you guys. Since we haven't chatted with you before, could you tell us a little bit about who you guys are and what you do?
Yeah, so for the band Nightly, I sing. My name's Johnny. This is Joey. He plays guitar, and then Nick plays drums. And we live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome. So if you guys could explain your sound and your vibe in 3 words to a new listener, what would those 3 words be? You can either do 3 collective words or you each give 3 words.
You go first. Are these like fun words, or are these like actually what you want us to sound like?
Whatever you guys think is most like representative of like
Okay.
vibe, go for it.
Maybe like alternative.
I would say new favorite band.
You get
That's
one.
perfect. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's perfect.
John got 1 word and I got 3.
So you do two.
You
Oh,
do
man.
too.
Super
Funky.
It's
super vibey.
Super vibes. Super vibey. Even better.
super vibes and super vibey. I think both are fitting.
So that was like 9 words, if that counts.
Okay, yeah, but that's 3 for each of you. So
Okay,
that's-
great.
So congratulations on the release of your newest single, Like I Do. Could you tell us a bit about the songwriting process for this track?
Yeah, we had most of the record done, and we only had maybe 3 or so songs left to fill. And so we kind of knew the vibe that we wanted to go for. And so let's see, I tried to explain this the other day and I did such a bad job, so I'm trying to do a better job. Basically, there's like, I saw this like thing on TikTok, and it was a video of Coldplay that they were playing clocks, and there's like that kind of iconic riff that goes throughout the whole song. So we kind of wanted a riff like that to base the song on. So it started on piano. Actually, Nick was playing piano and came up with this riff. And so we changed it to a couple different things. Like it starts out on synth, and then there's like strings that do it in the or not the bridge, maybe the outro.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Guitar does it. There's like a
Yeah.
little vocal thing that kind of does it. So it's kind of like when you listen to the song, like in the session itself, you can like hear it's kind of like that through idea of that part, but it kind of changes what is doing it the whole time. It's kind of how it started. But then we
Yeah.
kind of got away from that once we like got the meat of the song written. We were like, oh, this is actually super sick.
Yeah, so like we intentionally, we loved how after the first chorus it kind of completely changes to like, guitar and drums like that don't come in until after that, and then like the bass comes in the first chorus. So we're trying to like change elements as the song evolved. And so but pretty much once we had that progression, the song came out super fast. Like we kind of had the verse and chorus done really quickly. So I don't know, it's definitely one of my favorites on the album, and it was very easy to write, which is always nice.
Oh, that's awesome. So what made you choose this as your next single? Like what made this song, what made you guys think like, oh, this is our next single? Like we're doing it.
We always have a hard time, I think, picking like what the songs are that come out before the singles, because I think all of us have like songs that we thought it could be, and people on our team, same thing. But this was, I think, the one song that everybody pretty much agreed on at this time. So it's just more of an easier decision than like other singles, I think.
Yeah, awesome. So rather than creating, a traditional music video for the song, you guys donated all of, the funds for the video to Wags and Walk in Nashville and took 3 adoptable dogs out for the day in the city, which is incredible. So how did you guys come up with that idea? Like, walk me through this process.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it was actually our manager's idea,
Okay.
and we had a few different like kind of, I don't know, we had some different vibes that we wanted for other songs that we knew. And this one we were a little unsure of, and so she came up with the initial idea, and we were all just like, "Yeah, that's amazing." So, yeah, we can't take credit for that one. It was a
Yeah.
genius idea by our manager.
So Johnny, I heard that you adopted one of the dogs. Could you tell us a bit about that experience and how you kind of made that decision?
Yeah, she's actually here, or
She's outside.
she's outside right now.
Oh,
But, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't even really thinking about getting a dog, but then hanging out with them that day and just like seeing her, I was like, maybe I'll just like go, meet her, hang out with her. And yeah, and then it was like, I was like, I can't leave this. And the other thing too is she's been in the foster system like her entire life, and she's like 7 months old. So I was just like, man, or foster or like cages, like, so I was like, oh, this just sucks because they live in the same place for like, 2 weeks at a time or whatever. And then they go back to well, it's not called a pound, but you know what I
No.
mean? Like she's been in and out of pounds and stuff
Yeah.
like her whole life. So I was just like, oh, I can't stomach not,
right.
like letting her doing that again. So I was just like, all right, it was very like, honestly, it was kind of impulsive. I thought about it for like a few hours and I was just like, all right, I gotta get her.
Yeah.
She's literally like the best dog ever, though.
Yeah, I
Like,
did luck out. She's very well
she's such a
behaved.
good dog. She's
Oh,
such
I
a
like that. Or did any of you guys also consider getting a dog as well?
Well, what's funny is that my wife made me promise I wouldn't bring home whatever dog it was because we had just gotten a puppy.
Oh,
And I actually had his dog for the video. And the second I met her, I was like, I'm going to take this dog home and it's just going to ruin my entire life, but I don't care because she's so perfect. And then he ends up adopting her. So she's like over my house like 5 days a week, which is amazing. And her and my dog get along.
Yeah,
really well.
we work over here at Joe's place, and so I bring her over, and the two of them just hang out and play. So
But all three of the dogs from the video did get adopted. So
oh,
they all
okay.
found homes, which is awesome. We're
Yeah.
really, really proud of that.
Awesome. I'm glad. That's like you guys made a difference in their lives, and I'm sure that shelters, all of those dogs their lives as well, which is awesome.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, like we're just really grateful to have fans that give us a platform to be able to do something like that, So I mean, really, we have them to thank, and we just feel, we feel lucky that we get to be able to do something like that.
Absolutely. So speaking of like songwriting, do you guys have a specific process for all of your songs, or do songs just kind of flow to you in different ways? Like kind of tell us about that.
I mean, we definitely like usually before this album, there was kind of all over the place how we like John would come with an idea or like we would build a track and then write something over it or a guitar part or something. But I feel like this album, we very intentionally like just plugged in as many instruments as we could and we would all just jam. Like someone would come up with something and then we would, someone would be playing drums or whatever. And then we'd get like an idea and then write a song to it, which is why I think the album has like a real fluidity to it. Like every song is different, but it all makes sense together, which was really exciting for us because we had never really just sat in a studio for 2 months and just written a big body of work.
Yeah.
And usually I've been like older songs, like sometimes you'll have a song for like 6 months, a year, or it's like half a song and you'll finish it like 6 months later. But this album, like we started in January, we finished in March basically. And like we just had those songs for that period of time. And I think you can like tell and just like Joe was saying, just feels like super cohesive because
Cohesive. That's the word I was looking for.
it's not just like a random song from like 2 years ago. It's like all from this era where we were jamming and all together just making music.
Yeah, that's awesome. You can really tell when you listen to the tracks that like they came naturally and like everything does flow very well, very cohesive. I can see that.
Thank you.
So of course. So the new album Wear Your Heart Out drops on August 25th, which is the day that this is being released. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Could you guys tell us a bit about like the inspirations behind the album or kind of the story behind it? Kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, I think we had toured most of last year. We were on 3 tours and then we did a bunch of just kind of like one-off shows. So we were gone the majority of last year. except for maybe a couple months, and we wrote a bunch of songs in those couple months, but it was maybe before some of the tours. I'm trying to remember the exact timeline, but it was kind of, I don't know. So we actually had like a Dropbox folder with a bunch of songs. And then I think once we got through the year of touring, we just come out of a period of like being in COVID, not being able to tour. And that's like where our first album was written, was like really just like locked, in-house. We just had a different perspective on songs, I think, and what we wanted to play live. So we sort of threw everything out that we did before, or at least put it to the side. And we were like feeling this kind of energy that was like, we want to write something that really represents what we want to tour, thinking about it like that. So that was like a huge inspiration, just like Joe was saying, where we would plug in instruments and jam. It wasn't, whereas before I think it'd be like, I have a song idea for this, and it's more starting from a conceptual place. This was less conceptual from the onset, but as we were going through, I think we really found that what was just in our subconscious, like, actually did kind of tie together. It's more of like it's more of a dancey, like, love song album, whereas like some of our stuff previously had been a little sadder. And that was just what was in our brains and came out. We didn't necessarily sit down and think, we're going to write this type of album and this is what the theme is. It just sort of came out because I think we had all this built up energy from the tours that we were really wanting to get out. So I don't know. It was the first time we've done it like that. And it's also the first time we've written an album in kind of a short time period, because our debut album, again, sort of happened by accident, where it was like, we wrote some songs, we released them, and then we got, COVID hit and all that stuff. And it was like, we just kept releasing songs till it became an album. So this was like our kind of first intentional time period for like writing an album.
So it sounds like there's really nice, happy, bright vibes in this album, which I'm sure fans will be ecstatic to hear. So speaking of the album, if you could each assign a color to the album, which would it be? You have to pick one.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this because we've done it in a lot of the branding for the album, because it feels like that to me, but I'd say like disco silver. There's a lot of just 80s disco, like, we use the disco ball in a lot of the videos and stuff, and that just feels representative because you see a disco ball and it's makes you want to dance, makes you think of moody lights and stuff. So I'd say that's what I'd say.
I'm very colorblind, so this is a hard question for me.
Gray.
Gray.
Light gray.
What do you mean colors? You mean
color?
Is there more than one?
Nick, what do you think? I just always say blue because it's like my best color that I see. I feel real good, So I'm gonna go blue.
That's what I see real good. Man. I want to say red because that's what we used a bunch, but some of it also feels pink,
Yeah.
Pink's
It's
good.
kind of like lovey. No, I'm gonna say light pink.
Light pink. Something about disco silver just feels good though,
Yeah, I was not expecting disco silver, but I see it. Like, I see the vision.
I gotta start making that crayon.
Like, what's your favorite color? Someone says disco silver, I want to be their friend instantly. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Sounds like a fun
If it's a
person.
disco green.
I don't know what that means. I know what disco silver is now.
Yeah, pool hall green.
Oh, full hall green. Dude, this guy's got colors coming out of
Hey,
everywhere, dude.
Crayola, where you at?
Yeah, seriously. You gotta
Yeah,
start
Crayola
making
needs to
paint.
hire you. This is wild. We need to sponsor you for the next drop.
You just pulled two great colors out of your brain there somewhere. I don't know.
So speaking of the album, which song are you each most excited to perform live if you also had to choose one song?
Yeah, perform live or just favorite song?
Perform live. We can do
Okay.
perform live and also favorite song. So double answer.
I don't know yet because we haven't performed any of them.
Okay.
My guess would be, I feel like I have three.
That's okay. Go for it.
I would say The Feeling. There's a song called The Feeling, Wear Your Heart Out, and then maybe Shirt.
Oh, you can't take my song.
I knew you were gonna be mad if I said that one.
I'm gonna say Shirt, but also obviously like I do,
Mhm.
super stoked to play that and Dry Eyes. We played that like
Mhm.
one time at one-off show and it felt sick.
Yeah.
But I'll say Shirt.
My favorite song on the album is My Boys.
That'll probably be fun too.
That's gonna be really
Yeah.
fun
Yeah,
to play
that
live.
guitar solo.
Yeah, John's first guitar solo ever recorded on an album in that song. Very exciting.
Very
Took me
excited.
many years to convince him to, but he's a really great guitar
I'm
player.
more of a chords guy.
No, dude, he's more of a virtuoso. He just won't say that. And then I think to play live, man, I don't know. I really feel like I'm more of like a sappy guy live. I feel like Radiohead is going to be awesome live.
That would be nice too.
That's probably the one I'm most excited for, just for the it comes in. That's gonna pop.
I'm excited for the major too.
Oh yeah, dude, wants to put it over. Nick's our resident actual music theory knowledge guy.
Yeah.
So he'll say things like major two.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know the same things I
Well,
do.
I only know because you taught me, but I don't know them really. I just pretend to.
It's always good to have a guy around like that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
you need that
You
guy.
need that guy.
You got your color guy, you got your music theory guy. What else do you need?
John will tell you what color a chord is that Nick plays, and Nick will tell you the number. I guess it works out perfectly.
That's perfect. That's amazing.
Joe's got the jokes.
I got jokes, yeah.
What more could you need? Genuinely.
That's what we've been saying.
So, speaking of tour, you're heading out in October. Which cities are you most pumped to perform in? And are you visiting any new cities that you haven't performed in before?
We're playing cities that we've never headlined in.
Okay.
Like we've only ever opened shows. Which would be Seattle, Portland. Is that it? I thought there was one more, but maybe not. Yeah, so like those two we've never headlined in, so that'll be really fun. As far as play, I don't know. Like New York's always super fun, Nashville's always super fun. But I will say we did like a half tour last year, like of just the kind of the East Coast. And so we haven't headlined on the West Coast for a while.
Every year.
So I'm definitely excited to go back and play, Los Angeles and all the stuff on the West Coast that we haven't done in a long time. Salt Lake City, all that.
But Nashville too is always a blast.
Yeah.
And Chicago's incredible.
Charlotte was great last
Charlotte's
time.
great. We have like amazing
It's
fans.
just too hard.
Yeah,
It's
But
just
every
hard to
city is like
get.
so different,
so different, yeah.
but usually all great.
So this tour is obviously going to be great because the album is great. So lastly, do you guys have anything you would like to say to your fans coming out to see you on this tour?
I think it's maybe a little bit of what I was saying earlier when we were talking about the music video that we did. We just feel grateful, that they kind of have given us everything that they have given us. So otherwise we'd still be like in our mom's basement playing music, and having to work a job we don't like. So yeah, we're just really grateful. I mean, I know myself, like as a music fan that goes to shows, like what it can, pain it can be at times to like get tickets, get parking, figure out, if you're traveling, like where you're staying and all that stuff. And we're really lucky to have a lot of bands that do travel. So yeah, I think I'm just like really grateful, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun too. Like we're going to give our best effort to make it just like a super engaging and fun show. So come ready to dance.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Everyone should be wearing disco silver, right? That's the dress code.
Disco silver, dude.
Okay.
Man, that's so cool.
You're gonna hear first, disco silver, or you're not invited. You're gonna get all right. So that was all that I had for you guys today. But thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been so
Thank you so
great
much.
to meet you.
Appreciate you.